Right, we're at the wonderful Cité Universitaire here, which is an absolutely massive area. As you can see, there are houses all the way along here from countries from all over the world, providing accommodation for 5,000 students, I think. Now, we can't guarantee you would get in here, but for the last 2 years we've been really lucky and managed to get all the students who wanted accommodation places here. So I've got 3 of the girls with me now, and I'm going to ask you to tell us a little bit about it. What's your experience been of being here, Kathy?
The experience has been really positive in terms of the transport around it. Getting able to get the metro and the RER to Reed Hall and to the rest of Paris has been really handy. And yeah, it's been great.
And what about you, Anna?
It's really good to stay in the residence Lucien Payet because we have everything very near, and as Kathy said, the transport.
And what about in terms of being able to use your computers and things like that?
Well, yeah, if you have trouble with computers, there is always a common room where you can use the computers as long as you want, and yeah.
And
you can have internet in your room as well for €5 per month.
€5 a month to have the internet in your room, and it works fine.
Yeah.
Okay, and what other facilities are there here?
Well, we have the library behind us, and it's like you get membership whenever you're a resident here, so that works really good.
And you had a bit of an experience when you lost your handbag, I think. How did that get sorted out?
Well, the people in the reception of Lucien Pay were really helpful, and they changed the locks and gave me new keys and a new key card straight away, and they were really, really helpful.
So I suppose you're better off in that sense if things go wrong if you're in accommodation than when you're in private renting.
Yeah, exactly. They really helped me out there.
So would you recommend staying here to anyone coming next year?
Oh yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely, and it's great that you have visitors stay for €5 a night. There's a pool on campus.
There's also I'm sorry.
No, go on.
No, just that we can be all together and don't have to split in different areas of Paris.
Yes, that is an advantage.
And the fact that you're surrounded by students and they're all different nationalities is brilliant.
And compared to the studio accommodation, the cheapest you can get is about €900 a month. So it's a fair bit cheaper than that.
But a couple of the students are staying in studios and are very happy there, aren't they? But they haven't been isolated from the rest of the group by being in private accommodation. They're still able to come over here, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they still can. I mean, the fact that we're able to get the metro to absolutely anywhere really helps a lot. Like, and it's really close to Reed Hall, so that's nice.
Cool. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Well, we're in Parc Montsouris, which is the park across from Cité Universitaire, and
which is a campus there's 5,000 students and about 40 houses, and each house belongs to and is themed after a certain country. So we're in the Lucien Pay, but we have another friend in the Swedish house.
So how did she get into the Swedish house?
She applied directly. She's Danish, and she applied directly to the Danish house through their website. But and then they said there was a chance she might be reallocated because every house is mainly the nationality of the country, but 10% in a mixed bunch. And so she was relocated to the Swedish house, which isn't too far a jump, but still, it's a beautiful house, and she really loves it there as well.
But most of the houses are for students coming for a whole academic year, aren't they?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Exactly. But Lucien Pay is a bit more straightforward in that it's mixed with all different nationalities, and you can stay for a short period of time, so it works out well for us.
Mm-hmm. So have you been happy staying there?
Yeah, really happy. Yeah, it was really nice, and the people who work there are very friendly and helpful, and we've met loads of friends in the Lucien Pay and stuff. So
they organise a lot of parties. They organise a trip to Amsterdam for one night for €20, and they have kitchen parties, and they do.
Yeah, there's like a committee, and they organise loads of events for students to meet each other, and so.
Have you been to any of them?
Yeah, loads of them. Yeah, it was great.
Also, you met students from other universities?
Yeah.
Loads of French universities as well, which is really interesting because you don't meet many just French people here, and even people who are. So it's nice to meet people going to French universities and hear about that as well.
Yeah.
You can also have friends over or visits in general for €5 per night, and it's also convenient.
And where do they stay?
In the same room.
You get a camper bed.
You get an extra bed and sheets and stuff.
And I hear that you can also have free French lessons here, is that right?
Yes. They have a language center, and they offer the conversation groups not only in French but also in English, German, Italian, and other languages.
That's great. And have your other friends from the course who are not staying in the Cité Universitaire been over to visit at all?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, it's pretty easy to get to because it's straight direct on the RER from the centre, so it works out well.
And the metro and the tram both go by it, so it's really, the transport around it is really impeccable. There's no way you can find it.
How long does it take to get to Reed Hall then?
To Reed Hall, on the RER you can go 2 stops and then walk for about 5 minutes, and the 2 stops will only take about 10 minutes. And on the metro it would be about 10-15 minutes.
15 minutes about, yeah. But it's direct and it's perfect, you wouldn't even notice.
So tell us a bit about what you've been doing in Paris while you've been here. What have been the highlights?
When we first got here, I did a lot of the touristy stuff, went to the Eiffel Tower and the Champs-Elysees and everything like that. But when you get more used to it, it's nice just to go to the parks and hang around cafes and people watch. And I got a job in an Irish bar, so it was very easy. But it pays for it because Paris can be quite expensive, so it's nice to have an extra bit of cash.
Well, living in the 2 cities, UK, Canterbury precisely, and then here in Paris, definitely there are 2 different cities, 2 different cultures, 2 different people. So definitely my experiences are different as well. So in Canterbury, in UK, it's been kind of cool, calm, collected. Canterbury is a quiet town, a university town, so to say. It's been interesting as well because I was actually living on campus. So the campus life is kind of vibrant, interesting. Call it children, students from all over the world. We all mixed together, went partying, studies and all that. So here in Paris, for me, it's a different side of the coin. The reason is here I'm not staying on a campus here in Paris. I'm actually staying with a friend. So I'm staying in the city, living with people that go to work, living with probably families, multiracial families in Paris. So to me, it's been a kind of wonderful and wholesome experience. So it has actually immersed me full scale, more like throwing me into the pool of the French people. That's the way it is, because I meet all sorts of people on my way to school, on my way back from school. I stay in a building where we have people as far as Puerto Rico, people from Reunion, people from Africa, Nigeria, Senegal, Cameroon, even as far as China.
Right.
So and they all speak French.
Right.
And then speaking their own native languages too. So French is what has brought us together, and it has helped my French a lot. So the experience has been wonderful. And then the city itself, Paris, is just like the climax of everything. Beautiful city, filled with history, and it's always good to walk around.
So tell us, because you were one of the students who decided not to go for living in the Cité Universitaire, tell us a bit about your accommodation and how you found it.
Well, originally it was quite difficult because I didn't have a French guarantor, but I later found that if I had a dossier prepared, with a photocopy of my passport and bank statements, because it's myself that's paying the rent. In fact, a lot of landlords or landladies were very flexible, and there's a lot of agencies that will help. The American Church helped me a lot. There's a magazine, Fusac, which is an expat paper, which I found my apartment using that paper. And I now live quite central in a little studio apartment, which is lovely. I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm definitely glad that I chose to go my own way rather than the Cité Universitaire.
What made you make that decision?
I did a French degree, and I did the year abroad in Grenoble, and I did the same there. I rented a small place there, and in my experience, it really helps you to really live the lifestyle of a person from there. Really, it allows you to integrate, much easier, because although I've stayed friends with everyone on the course here, and I did the same in Grenoble, I have got to know the area. I've been walking around a lot, and most of my friends are French.
Did you find somewhere suitable to live easily?
Because
you found us a place to live, and that's why I'm living in the city universitaire, and this is a very nice place.
Okay, you found it convenient?
Yes, the city universitaire has a restaurant and its own library, and it has banks and a post office, and it's very convenient.
What about transport links?
We can take metro from here to the Vavin, where the radio hall is, and it only takes 20 minutes to go there. So,
tell me, you had a slightly different experience on the accommodation front from the other students. Can you tell me all about that?
Yes, well, I didn't. I know the other students went through University of Kent to get their accommodation and ended up in the Lucien Pay. I, for some reason, didn't realize that was a possibility. So I initially, before going to Kent, applied to the Danish house, which is also in the Cité Universitaire. And I got a place there through them. And because the houses have an exchange, some of the houses have an exchange agreement, I ended up being relocated into the Swedish house. So now I'm a Dane in Paris at an English university living at the Swedish house. But it's but it's lovely.
And how have you found the Cité Universitaire as a place to live?
I love it. I personally love it. I love the atmosphere of being around, it's sort of an on-campus feeling somehow because you're around students all the time. But the surroundings are like amazing. You know how every house has the characteristics of the nationality it represents. That I find that really charming. It's a lovely place to walk around into. These days where it's been lovely sunshine, you've been able to sit outside on the grass and take all your stuff outside. I love it.
You were very lucky to get into the Danish house because normally the houses there only allow students who come for a whole year.
Yeah, I heard about that. I actually, I didn't run into that problem at all. But yeah, I heard from some of the others that was a problem. So fortunately for them, you could find them a place at the Lucien Pay.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't run into that. For me, maybe it was because I was I went through that whole process very early, like a long time before I went to Kent. I applied, so I think if you're in good time with it, some of the places might.
Yes, I suppose
okay
if it matches with another student who's coming for a short period of time.
Exactly, and I know at the Swedish house there are always people coming and going. Yeah.
You mentioned making friends with people before you came here when you were back at Kent. Which hall of residence were you in?
I was at Parkwood, which is the student village of small houses. So I lived with 4 other girls in Parkwood, and 2 of them, Kathy and Lindsay, are here with me now. So that's amazing. I don't know what I'd do without them.